Change or Die we're going to move on to first. And tell me about the project. Have you got a network for it already? And explain the premise.
I've already got people who are interested. And when it comes down to filming your own show, like the resurrection of Jake the Snake, my company, Comeback Studios, filmed everything, edited everything. I'm not sure in the UK, but over here, it's on Amazon Prime. I'm not sure if it's over there in the UK, but if it is, check it out.
Yeah.
We also filmed Relentless, which was a documentary that was based from me blowing my back out and where I, was 20 years ago. And we have so much footage to where we are today. Again, we filmed everything. Now, let's go back to Resurrection of Jake the Snake. And I say this for a reason. We had never done a documentary before. We'd done shorts, like the disabled veteran video and a lot of different videos that were inspirational, but nothing was longer than 5 or 6 minutes. Resurrection was 93 minutes. So my point is, we never did it before, and I think it's one of the best documentaries that's out there. Change or Die is a docu-series. So what we've done is we brought 5 people into the accountability crib. We're at the same place that I filmed all of Resurrection of Jake the Snake. Brought 5 people. Now, 2 of them people will know. One is Buff Bagwell. 2, the other guy is Butterbean. Butterbean was a fighter.
Yep, Eric
also, yes, a great guy. The other 3 people are a woman who's 67, 100 plus pounds overweight. A woman who's 33, same thing, 100 plus pounds overweight. And a young man who just turned 22, who someone sent me a picture of him on TikTok, a friend of mine. And he said, D, I am buying DDP yoga for this young man. He desperately needs to lose weight. He's on TikTok. He's putting the work in. He's down about 20 pounds, down to 486 pounds. Wow. He's 5'5". So I said, let's hold off on that. I have something else I might have for him. So I gave him to my production people, and they interviewed him. They talked to him. They loved him. So he's the last one. And when he came in, everyone we weighed in. Now, Buff needs to lose some weight too. It's not a lot to get back to Buff shape though, but Change or Die isn't about your weight. It's about your body and your mind. It's about helping people not just change their life, but helping them own their lives. And it's really a combination of Biggest Loser meets The Apprentice, because we do challenges every week or every other week, meets Intervention. Mm-hmm. And that's where it was for Buff to a certain degree. Because like a lot of the guys, not big fans of Buff, because there are a lot of self-importance. Now you're thrown in a house with 5 other people that are completely different than you. One guy a little bit, but really everybody's completely different. How do you get along? How do you adapt? Like, just because Buff, because it's already out there that Buff is on the show. Just because Buff, we put a picture up of him cooking for everybody. And, another picture, since he's gotten so many calls for bookings where people wouldn't book him unless, and like Tommy Dreamer, like Buff has been on me for me to do something for a year. And like, well, I'm only doing it if you let me drive. That's what Jake did. That's what Scott Hall did. If you're not going to let me drive, then you got to go. And Buff is in a really dark spot. Excuse me. Like, so many people, putting, posts up, whether it's on Instagram or, or Twitter or YouTube or whatever, saying it'd really be cool if you reached out to Buff. When I was with Jake, just Jake, when I moved him into my house, I got flooded. Please help Scott. So everybody knows what happened there. And again, if people are going to let me drive, there's a really good chance that they could turn their lives around. Jake's the greatest example ever. And Buff wants some of that, so he has been letting me drive, and his price has already doubled what he's making for appearance, and some cases tripled, and he's getting out there now. Every night, every Sunday, he comes home and he comes to the crib. And then we do it through our procedure because his body is so fucked up from bad decisions while he was driving, like pilled up. Like his body is fucked up. Butterbean, completely different, just as fucked up. Like fucked up. Both of those guys are super challenged for me, and we'll see what happens as time goes on. So far, the film footage that we have, and I'll just give you an example. Mm-hmm. The kid who was 486 pounds, everybody's got to weigh in, do pictures, and there's so many things we do, with them. Everything's provided for them. They actually even get paid a little bit for being there, because when you're doing a show like this, you have to give them something. Scott and Jake, I never paid, but they paid for nothing. I took care of all their bills, everything. And that's another reason why it was easier for Jake to get up and keep moving forward, because I helped them through those days. Same thing with Scott. So this kid, he gets on the scale and he feels good because he feels like he's lost 20 pounds so far. He's on the right track. He's under 500. He gets on that scale. He weighs 513 pounds. And he just starts crying. I mean, this poor kid, man. It's of the 5 people that we brought into our house, or what I call the accountability crib, of the 5 people, 4 of them, Biggest Loser, who was the biggest transformation show ever, and I think a lot of the shit that they did was fucked up. How they beat people up, and and all the stuff behind the scenes that I've learned, I'm not even going to talk about, but really fucked up. Why people lost 40 pounds in a week and shit like that. But 4 of the 5 people, Biggest Loser wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. That's what we're taking on, and change or die. And out of those 5 people, if they don't change their shit in the very near future, they could die.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what Change or Die is. And we're going to film it A to Z. We're going to edit it. We're going to have it completely done. And then I'm going to bring it to the networks. I already have agents or they want me to take it to top networks. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that because they're going to want me to change shit. He said, if you bring it completely finished and you tell them this is the show, take it or leave it, not so much. And I said, yeah, but when I was talking to them 7 months ago, when we were just talking about this project, they were like, I'm like, listen, these networks, they don't want positive shit. They want it's about trauma and yelling and arguing and shit like that. They go, we're not going to do that. Now, if it happens, we're going to film it and we're going to put it in, but we're not going to create anything.